Hello everyone, and welcome to the webinar on Outcome 3. My name is Sue Robertson and I work for Health Education England across the South. This is an introduction to Outcome 3 of the Quality and Improvement Outcomes Framework. It is part of a series of webinars for NHS library and knowledge specialists. The main objective of the webinar today is to spend a little time looking at Outcome 3 in detail and to develop an understanding of the levels. So, what will we cover in this webinar? We will spend a little time looking at Outcome 3 and its focus. We will consider what we need to think about and what is needed in relation to Outcome 3. We will spend a little more time looking at the levels in detail, and we will finish by seeing some good practice demonstrated from the pilot sites. So what does Outcome 3 say? You will see that I have highlighted some words in the outcome that are key. Let's have a look at those highlighted words in a little more detail. We have used the words library and knowledge specialists to include all members of the library team. The next word highlighted is identify. How do we spot opportunities? What do you see in your role that no one else does? Needs, where are the gaps? And workforce, not only users of the library and knowledge services and resources, but anyone who could potentially access those services and resources within your organisation. In order to deliver, 4 key words that are very important as they describe and help us to think about where we are making a difference. Effective, it works and delivers what is wanted. And finally, proactive. We are not waiting for suggestions, important though those suggestions may be. Bear those words in mind throughout this webinar, as they are the key to understanding the outcome. Think about how your service identifies the needs of the workforce and how you are effective and proactive. We all know that the healthcare workforce is changing as new roles and positions are created and evolve. The evidence and knowledge needs of the workforce is also changing. Outcome 3 highlights how library and knowledge specialists proactively identifies those knowledge and evidence needs of the workforce effectively. How everyone working in the library spots those opportunities to make incremental service improvements. This outcome provides an opportunity to highlight how library and knowledge specialists deliver user-focused services. Outcome 3 looks at how effective is the service and resources offer. It will include examples of where you've been proactive. User and non-user feedback will have been captured, analysed and evaluated. And there will be a description of changes that have been made as a result. What targeted offers are available to existing, new or emerging roles or groups in the workforce? And finally, what is the impact and reach of the marketing strategy. What needs to be considered for outcome 3? Access. How can the workforce access the services and resources provided? What provision is made for those with differing abilities or aptitudes? What is the stakeholder experience of using the library and knowledge service? Reach. Who uses the services currently? How are the healthcare workforce's broad range of evidence and knowledge needs identified? How are their evidence needs met? Patient outcomes. How does the library service provide good quality evidence to both healthcare professionals treating and the patients receiving care? And finally, organisational decision making. How far is knowledge captured, used, and evidence shared across an organisation? As you progress through the levels for outcome 3, you'll notice that they describe an increasingly mature model of service delivery. Level 0 is an organisation where the library service has not developed or isn't yet developing and delivering against the particular outcomes. Level 1 focuses on the existing users of the library and knowledge service. To achieve a Level 1, library and knowledge specialists will show an understanding of the knowledge and evidence needs of groups or individual service users. They will be systematic in the collection of feedback, but not evaluate or reflect on the feedback given. They will be promoting the services and resources, and they will respond to requests to users and make changes. The key aim of the Quality and Improvement Outcomes Framework is service improvement. As such, there will be an expectation that all services will develop a service improvement plan as a result of the baseline self-assessment. For services operating at Level 0 and Level 1 in one or more of the outcomes, organisations should expect a more intensive monitoring of these service plans. Organisations will work closely with HEE's library and knowledge service leads, who will provide support and guidance for service improvement. In Level 2, the focus is on the whole workforce, not just your service users. There will be an understanding of and profiles created for specific work groups or roles. For example, there are many different pharmacy roles within an organisation. A pharmacist working in medicines information will have very different knowledge and evidence needs to a pharmacist in their pre-registration year. There will also be an understanding of the hard-to-reach groups in your organisation. There will be ways shown where you are proactively engaging with new roles or new departments. And provision will be made for individuals or groups with differing abilities and aptitudes. In Level 3, the analysis of your user and non-user base is strong. Questions here to think about include: does the journey mapping result in an improved service offer? Are you able to understand the journeys of those who only access a service virtually? Those who only work nights and weekends and are not in the library during staffed library hours? and those who value visual rather than written descriptions of an activity or procedure. So does the marketing of your products and services reflect clear targeted offers informed by the user profiles created? And how is the service offer refined and evaluated? In Level 4, it is clearly seen how a proactive, effective library and knowledge service is meeting the needs of the whole workforce. At Level 4, the service is fully integrated into the organisation. There will be examples of innovative practice and technology. Evidence shows that changes in practice are driven by user experience and user journey mapping, and the marketing plan is informed by user profiles and used in the creations of targeted offers and to show impact. Remember that in the pilot, the levels were different. In the pilot, the levels were described from level 0 to level 5. However, we are sharing some of the good practice which may be useful. Most pilot sites were working between level 2 and level 3 in the pilot. Some examples of good practice from the pilot sites included an understanding of both users and non-users of services, user profiles created that informed the creation of targeted offers, any marketing and promotional activities undertaken were analysed to understand the reach and the outcomes of the promotional activities delivered. Feedback was collated and assessed and evaluated, which was then used to create impact stories. And finally, consultation and analysis of current service offer was understood before any service improvement changes were made. We provided a number of areas of guidance for improvement to the pilot sites. Sometimes new services had been offered, but without any discussion with the intended users of the service. Sometimes after a new service had been introduced, there was little or no evaluation of the service. Services were not available or delivered to the whole team. And some of the user profiles had been created, but that did not then result in the delivery of a tailored offer to those users or those teams. Marketing and promotional activities were done, but there was little or no analysis of the outcomes. Finally, don't forget the resources that are stored on the Knowledge for Healthcare blog. The resources shown here may help you. Before I conclude this webinar, I need to tell you about 2 further webinars that accompany this introduction to Outcome 3. In the first webinar, Natalie in Taunton describes how she has used a PDSA, Plan, Do, Study, Act template to capture an improvement in Musgrove Park Hospital. In the second webinar, Morag talks about the rollout of health literacy champions. Morag is at the beginning of her improvement journey in Dorchester. If you have any questions, then do please get in touch with us. Our contact details can be seen on the screen. Thank you for listening.